just rocking away. I love that little theme thingy going on. And I'm just so excited already because Scott and I'm gonna bring him in like right away because we were just actually he is already here. What am I saying? See, I'm so excited. I don't even know how to use my own controls right now because we were having this amazing conversation. And we've been getting these amazing conversations for the last 2 years, but lately they've been really ramping up just before we go live, and it's like holy crap, it's like we're like live in 10 seconds here, and it's just I'm so energized by our conversation, man. Thank you for being here again on another Tuesday, Scott.
You're welcome, and I feel the same way. And it was actually 3 seconds because we're in the conversation
Right.
like we're live in 3 seconds, and I, in 3 seconds, finished it off. And I really love the intro. That's just that I get tired of people's intros. I'm like, get on with it. An hour, it's just so short and wonderful, and boom, boom, and get you kind of the music was perfect and the upbeat. And we were talking about Dream Client, and I was mentioning, Joey, how incredible it is when we find the dream client, the difference between the avatar and the dream client. And when we get to hang out with the dream client and do cool things with them, and then all this energy of connectedness and magic and mysticism and wizardry happens. And just when you've got the foundation of this and you take them through, and Hi Collie is excited to be here with us. Fine, handsome gentleman. Where's the wait?
Yeah, where are they? I don't know where they are.
Where's the love and soul hugs? What
I don't know where those go. uh
Pavlovian effect? Hello, Daniel. Good to see you.
No, it's important that like we'll bring them up to date because let's not leave them in the dark. Our conversation was around dream clients, and who knows where this is going to go today. But this wasn't the topic that we're going to talk about. But what we were saying was that, like exactly what Scott says, is like when you're working with people that you love and adore and just hang out and they just charge your batteries and all that, everything changes. And I was on my Atlas call today with my group and was telling Scott that the moment of realization when my students realized that there really is a major difference between the avatar and dream client is an amazing feeling. Like I just felt so much bliss when everybody kind of put up their hand and go, oh my god, like you're so right about this. And we were talking about the chain of beliefs of getting people to that point of like, this is not just your typical avatar exercise thingy. What we're doing is we're changing the paradigm of how you run your business and who you run it with and who you serve. And once you understand that, everything changes. And to see that paradigm shift, and I felt the energy come through the computer, it's amazing. Is a great place to be. And I wish that for everybody to get that feeling.
The whole avatar piece for me, Joey, over the years, and thank you for the love and soul hugs, Collie. I kind of felt a little left out.
Back at you, Lucali.
But I'm better now. I'm feeling for the intro. I think you should change the picture of Scott in the red shirt into a younger and slender version of Scott.
There you go.
Thank you, Petri. Yes, it's yeah, that's going to happen. We'll get that done. But going back to how the conversation started, Joey, I had the bliss, the pleasure, the joy last night of spending 2 hours with two other wizards and mystics and magicians, and the magic of what was accomplished. And for the last month, I've been meeting with one of them, a dream client, a yogi, a teacher, just this knowing, this whole quantum, the people you want to hang out with because they bring you bliss, happiness, and joy, and the golden moments and the golden relationships. And again, we were talking about the chain of beliefs and coming in. For years, I struggled. I remember I spent 3.5 years with one of the companies I have, which is a whole thing about Jungian education. We never talk about that one. It's Carl Jung's works and it's Centerpoint Education. And for 3.5 years, I was trying to, with my partner in that, say, who is this avatar? So from everybody out there, I learned the thing in the demographics, psychographics, things, blah, blah. And I struggled because I could never find that dude or dudette who was going to show up with this and that and be, oh, that's exactly who. Now, I know like Sarah Struggles and Bob Michaels, we have them for a certain reason.
Yeah.
But that's
well, there's a character representation. Like the avatar, that's how I look at that avatar.
Yeah.
Is this your Bob Michaels and my Sarah Struggles
Right.
is a representative
Uh-huh.
of the entire audience of the dream
Exactly.
client.
Exactly.
Go ahead.
What's the vital part is, thank you, Joey, for clarifying that, or at least pinpointing that it is a visual representation for at least me, as when I'm writing or talking to, I know who I'm talking to, even though it's everyone. It's the one voice to that one person. We talk about it. Okay, if you were going to sit in a bar and somebody sat up next to you having a drink and you had to explain something, or you're talking one to one, or you're writing an email one to one, that person. But when you get into the dream client and decide who do you want to hang out with and have these moments, these golden moments of bliss, happiness, and joy, and who do you want to share your superpowers with, who are going to then strengthen your superpowers and take you to the next level, because that's what happens when you're trying to get cold traffic into a funnel to be in your ah you're looking at the anti-avatar, and you're not, that's not for what we're talking about, for the heart-centered entrepreneur looking to help others and build businesses and be coaches and consultants and trainers and help build programs and courses to take people on this journey. Why wouldn't you do it with people that you were like, God, I can't wait to be with them again? I know
Right.
you're that way with Atlas, and
Right.
with everything you do, it's like, I can't wait to hang out with these people because you watch them grow. And when we look at that, and it goes back to all of what we talk about, is serving and helping. And when the right people come to you that you attract, it's magic. Go.
Yeah, no, I mean, you keep going, bro. Like this is amazing. Like that's there's it's
Okay,
so hard to explain it because it
but
is magic. Go ahead. Go ahead.
let me keep going, Joey. It's with the avatar thingy. Once I had it in a picture, a block, a spreadsheet of this, a chart, I think that's it. It was over. It was done. There was never any actualization of it. It didn't continue to grow and morph. When you engage with dream clients and you find out more about them, it goes deeper to deeper levels and higher levels that really starts the whole energy out there to bring more of them in there and create this. What would happen if we had this whole universe of these people, which is exactly what you're doing? And what if all of our people in our universe, in our tribes, were doing the same thing and bringing people in to their universe who are going to be on the journey with us forever? Because we always have. You can't not continue to actualize when you're doing this, because all of the energy of all those people, we put out a ton of energy when we do what we do, and then we replenish it in the ways we do. What we
Right.
derive from our dream peeps and our family and our tribe is, why would you waste a second with somebody that, like, you're like, I got to deal with that person.
Yeah, and that's kind of where I was going to go with it is the fact that your batteries are charged. I wake up every morning, especially when there's an Atlas thingy or right marketing copy, any cohort that I'm going to do, any coaching, and I'm like excited to serve. It's a different feeling than "Oh, I gotta go sell." Even if you're excited about selling, like hey, I'm gonna go sell something today. It's a completely different feeling. I've never really had that kind of thingy, I guess, but I understand what it is to serve. I'm like, oh my god, I can get up today and spend an hour with these people and to serve, and just share and serve, and it's an amazing feeling. And I think when you get to that point of bliss of having these people, and here's the other part of this that I've never really said until this conversation, that not that I didn't know this before. It just hit me during this conversation. So thank you for this clarity, which is being in a group of people, of dream clients who you enjoy and want to be around, but they just get it. Like I just realized it. They get you, and
Mhm.
you get them, and they get each other. Like that phrase to me just hit me like a ton of bricks, because you don't have to sell them or convince them or anything. They're just like, I get it. You can teach them and educate them and stuff and help them, but they get it. And there's a magical connection there of brain waves and energies that are happening throughout the group and the leader and all this stuff, right? What do you think about that?
Well, totally and completely, Joey. I said I had two magicians and wizards in with me here last night for a few hours, and I'm whiteboarding and I'm on the computer and I'm this and I'm this and I'm printing stuff out and they're circling and this and the processing with people that you just love
Yeah,
and tell them that. And after the fact, you sending messages to each other on what just happened and how amazing was that. And oh my God. And it was just so blowing away to come up with something that represents somebody's brand and their life and their magic and their transformation. And you're involved in all this. How can that energy not transform you?
right,
You're transforming them, and everybody engaged in that energy and that magic and wizardry and mysticism,
right.
because that's bliss, that's joy, that's happiness. I had breakfast with a colleague yesterday, two of them, and by the end of it they got what I could do for them. They had some things, and so yeah, my superpowers, I can help you do this, that, and this and the other. And finished breakfast was like, here's some money.
Yeah,
That was it. It wasn't
love it.
no sales process and planning. It was a couple of people having breakfast, heart-centered, God-fearing men, and this, and doing wonderful things that I love and believe in. And was like, I think I can help you do this, this, and this. And they're like, we need that. I was like, okay, it this much. And they're like, okay,
Amazing.
cool. Just when you don't have to struggle, and I'm playing in two universes simultaneously. I'm playing in our universe. I'll call it the heart-centered space with marketing and building and copy and this, and then I'm playing in the building a B2C software company and building funnels and figuring out upsells and intricacies of this and that. When the other one's like,
I know. Welcome to my 2019. I wasn't, doing a software company, but it was the same, struggle between two worlds. It's like, okay,
yeah,
well, where do I want to be?
I don't. We've had this conversation many times, and there's reasons for everything we do, and mine always is to get back to that piece. That's just bliss, happiness, and joy. Instead of today, is like, crap. Okay, got to figure the upsells and Thrive Cart, and got to do this and that. Now, how do I deliver this? And I got two digital products on the upsell. If they don't take this one, I take this one. And where do they go? And this, and which piece do you have to use? And Learn Plus and tagging and this, and active campaign is like, I don't want to be doing that. But guess what? I'll figure it out. I'll do it, and I'll use it for something. We had a conversation a few weeks ago. It's an investment that it's challenging. I don't like it, but I have to, because Friday I have a huge launch of this thing. It's now in beta.
Yeah.
So 81 days from that and that and that. Yeah, that intensity doesn't exist when we're like hanging out with our dream peeps and chatting with them a couple times a week and taking.
Yeah, because even I was answering a chat, not a chat, a thread about coaching, like how it's all set up and all this stuff in Kajabi just today, and it was like, so what does it look like? What's the mechanics look like? And I'm like, what mechanics? It's just like I
Yeah,
go on live, I download the recording, and I throw it into Kajabi, done. Like, you know what I mean?
yeah,
Like it's just so,
yeah.
because they get it. Like the dream clients get it. It's like, okay, and like we can go down this rabbit hole like forever.
So for those of
Um,
you that have joined us this evening on Heart Centered Marketing Made Easy, the topic for this evening is something.
yeah.
And join us in the club, Heart Centered Marketing Club. Definitely want to show up. Joey's in there every day providing unbelievable value. I have never seen anybody, you've heard me say this before, deliver more value in a Facebook group to people who can come in and freely ask questions, share, be open, transparent, vulnerable. That's the kind of place Heart Centered Marketing Club is. If you want to go in there and be in this like a hypey thingy,
Yeah, that's not us.
that's not us. We're there to help each other, love each other, grow each other. You've heard us talking about wizardry, mysticism, magic, joy, happiness, love and bliss, which that's what we talk about with our dream clients, because that's what we like to talk about.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you want to talk about joy, happiness, love, magic, wizardry, mysticism?
Yeah, why wouldn't you want to help each other out instead of going into a group that's all pitch fest of everybody trying to
Yeah,
get everybody's business? That's not what this is all about. I want to give shouts out to Wendy. Thank you for being here. I know that you barely get to see us live, So thank you for the commitment and thank you for being here live. And glad that you're here, Wendy. She's always showing up after watching the replays, and she usually comments on our YouTube. So thank you for that.
I want to take a moment here and gratitude to Wendy. I mentioned she wasn't on the call last week. I had worked with Gord Eisman for about 4 or 5 hours because I had to get not only my YouTube channel for Video Memory Maker up and running. So if people searched Google, they would actually find us that we're a real company, and the Facebook thing. And I was like, I don't have 2 weeks to figure it out on my own. So I engaged with Gord. It was like boom, boom, boom. And then, a banner, I just threw up the logo with a black background. And he's like, go take a look at Wendy's. And Wendy had this amazing collage of photos. I'm like, Video Memory Makers. Easiest way to turn your photos into video memories. That's what it looks like. And I asked that. She had created it. And she said, how about I make you one? You and Joey have just been so generous and so giving to me. I was like, that's just what we do. And she went through, like, I don't know, 9, 10, 12 iterations, 15, because my video eye is this, move that, and this clear, and this margin, that. And I've got this incredible banner that if somebody throws it up on their TV and looks for us, it's going to be like, holy crap, that's amazing. That's gorgeous. So quick shout out to Wendy. And of course, Gord, he's got enough of this props. Gord's really good. He knows his stuff.
Thank you. And yeah, the tribe in our group here is amazing. So yeah, thank you for saying that, Scott, and thank you for all of you who are in the group and
Joey,
just being the humans that you are.
as we're saying that about the humans they are, it comes to the overall philosophy, the prime directive of what we do. When you're out there doing that, I got on a call today with someone I've known for about 6 years. When I first got into the video creation space and marketing,
Right.
We never really became friends. We were just, I knew her, she knew me, and you get a sense of it. Didn't like when you and I first met and we watched each other, but we were so in tune and so alike, and we just got together. We just watched each other, mutual respect. And I got on a call with her yesterday, and I said, I make a lot of deposits, not intentionally. There's no ulterior motive, but that's what we do, make deposits into an account to help benefit somebody else. One day, you might need to make a withdrawal. And that withdrawal is after you're serving, loving, giving. Somebody may just come back to you and say, I see you're struggling with this. How about I help you? Or with this gal, I reached out to her and I said, look, I've never even made any kind of deposit. I've not added value to your life with my superpowers. That's never been our relationship. But you know what? We've been in this journey together. I need your help. I really want your help. In the past, you've talked about this and that, and the affiliate, and I need your help to do this thing, and I need a commitment from you. And to be able to have a conversation like that with, I'm going to ask for a withdrawal in advance without making a deposit. But that's kind of a karma thing, because you and I spend our lives making deposits, if we want to use that analogy. Again, I heard it somewhere. I don't remember who or what book I read it in.
I remember that same thing, and I believe it was. Anyway, go on, and I'll tell you who the author is.
Yeah, I know that. The Joey Show. Ding, who said this? I don't know. I don't know. Joe Powell, whatever. Anyhow.
No, it's either like Wayne Dyer or
it could have been
or Cialdini, one of the two.
Probably Wayne Dyer, I think. Whatever. Yeah. But yeah, it's possible it could have been part of the Dyer dozen, which you're sitting right there and up there. Anyway, we don't make deposits expecting withdrawals in the relationships, but that's part of it. And sometimes, like yesterday, I made a withdrawal in advance.
Yeah.
Knowing that, like seed principle, like tithing, like giving of, you just give and give and give. And at the end of the day, you and I both know if we've improved the quality of somebody's life by a little bit because of who we are, what we do in our superpower, it's been an amazing life. Mm-hmm. And if at some point it comes back, and I'm just putting that out there, because when we truly serve from that level, then it just makes things so much
true.
easier.
Yeah, there's no doubt in my mind that the shift from selling to serving changed my business forever, and that's what I'm trying to help everyone else understand and do. And aside from not just lip service, but actually doing it, actually serving, like what you and I've been doing for forever, and so many other people that are in our group,
Oh yeah,
who've done the same thing. Lorna is another one. Like, and I knew Lorna for a long, long time too, and she was just serving even before I
yeah,
taught her the thingy. But
right.
and there's just amazing humans, and then when you do the same thing like that, they come together and the group forms, the tribe forms, and they bring in other people like that, and that's where it all begins. That's where all dream clients begin, and all that stuff happens, which is totally amazing.
And Joe,
um
I'm going to go back to what you said earlier when we first started on number one of the outline for tonight's call.
right.
You,
We haven't even got to the topic yet, and we're already 20 minutes in, but it's all good. That's why I love our show. It's like, you know we sold tickets for one thing, but they're seeing another show.
we're going to get to it eventually. What are we talking about, Joey? What is
No,
it?
no, no. I want you to finish your thought. Go ahead.
No, it's gone. It's over. It's
Okay, so
done.
let me give props, and then maybe it'll come back to you.
Wait,
Collie is that's why we get it, because you got it. Thank you, Collie.
you know what?
I-
Stop, Joey. That's exactly it. Thank you, Collie. They get it because when you truly understand that your dream client, your
Mhm.
dream people get you, and that you so totally speak their language because you understand the dream client conversations, and you can easily say that. And that's what comes, I think, naturally to you and I, Joey, that we've honed is the ability to really find out where somebody's coming from, in what are you struggling with, what's your problem, and be able to say, I know I can help you. And with the way we show up in R, it's just so natural that they say, well, I know you can help me, and I want you to help me, and here's the money for me to help you because I believe and I know you believe in. Yes, we give away things for free. When true transformation happens on their side, it's when they make an investment of financial energy. It's
no doubt. Yeah.
there because again, we can help somebody for free, and they can start to, until they make that commitment of, okay, I've worked hard to get this money. I've done something to get it. Now this is the value it has to me. Am I willing to exchange it for the value they're providing? And when it's so apparent, it doesn't matter what the
Right.
price is. And again, I'm not saying, well, it's going to be $1 million for something that, well, I don't know, a million. You could say, well, to spend a day with me. Well, is it 5 grand, 100 grand, or a million? It all depends. What's the transformation?
Yeah. What's the outcome? Is it worth the investment? That's a whole other discussion too. Like, there's so many great topics here that we could just jump on like a mind map and just go
If,
into all these areas.
if you're making $100 million or you're worth that, and I could walk into you and say, you know what? I see where I can make you an extra $20 million. Would you pay me $1 million?
Right.
Yeah. But again, look, I could go the same thing and say, would you pay me $500 if I could make you this, or if I could solve this or fix this? Yeah. So again, attaching a transformational value.
Yeah, it's something that they desire, a thing that they truly desire, that they want and need, and believe that you can give them the transformation, and the transformation is worth them paying that. And it's also that, actually, more than that, the transformation is exponentially more valuable to them than the money that they pay for. And
Yeah.
we've heard the 10x thingy and all this, whatever it is, it's got to be more value
Yeah.
to them than the money and time that they're trading for.
Yeah. I mean, there's sometimes people invest things in things for the investment and the experience, and not
Yeah.
necessarily the financial ROI. What if somebody was like, you know what? I'm willing to invest $50,000 to learn what you know. Forget about, I'm not looking for any outcomes, but teach me how to do what you do.
Yeah, but what they're doing is they're buying time.
Well,
Right?
exactly.
They're shortcutting their system that's gonna eventually get them to, building their business faster, or whatever that is. So then maybe the outcome is not right then and there, but they're buying the future. Where we talked about this, I think, a couple of weeks ago, didn't we?
Buying
Buying the future outcome.
and shortcutting the learning curve,
Right.
shortcutting the struggle. And I'm saying that, emphasizing it again, because when you truly can communicate that you can shortcut, destroy the learning curve, when you can just shatter the anything that's causing them any discomfort, struggle, time, wombat. Is it worthy of my bandwidth and time?
That's
But
right. Let me get to some. Let me give some shout outs here, and then we'll come back to this. Kali, we said that one, and Anesh, you are when the business is done organically with a heart-centered approach, it just feels right. I couldn't agree more. Um,
yeah,
it's hard to describe the feeling. We try so many times to describe what that feeling is, but it comes for me from a place of service all the time. It's never about a sale, and we have these conversations every week about this in Atlas. It's not that they don't believe what I'm saying, but they've come from the brainwashed mindset. Not their fault, but it's like and constantly, if you see the chat, Scott, if I show you the chats, you'll see the trend every single week is I'm so believe this. I so feel it. I'm just trying to get I'm changing my mindset around. Like they're actively, like you just said, they're actively doing something out of their comfort zone, or I shouldn't say the word force comes into my head, but that's not the right word. They're they want a desire to change. They see the difference, and they're making the what's the word I'm looking for? They're making the effort to make the change.
I think a big piece of that, Joey, is, and keep Inesh's up there, is because it feels right. I know what it feels like. It feels like bliss, joy, happiness, and love. When you can truly have a relationships with people that each of the person in that relationship wants that same thing, the joy,
Yep.
the bliss, the happiness, the love, the transformation, the actualization. What could feel more right than that? I just don't know anything that I would want to aspire to other than that. And that's what it's about. That's what we do.
And he also thank you, Anesh, for the love and gratitude. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Back at you with an attitude of gratitude. Great chat. Thank you very much for that. I don't know who this is. Maybe you can tell me that, Scott, because I don't
No,
see.
I didn't open anything tonight. I was giving you my full attention tonight.
Love it. So I don't know who this is, but this is kind of a Grateful Dead event. I don't know. I don't. I never really followed the Grateful Dead, so, but I know who they are. I know what you're talking about. Oh, where there was something that Petra said there. Yeah, that was the one. I love this. She's talking about the Facebook group, and even on these calls that we get a lot of sarcasm, and that's why just they just get it. That's what I'm saying. Is like we can be sarcastic and just the tribe gets it. You don't have to really worry about turning somebody off. It's like, this is what
Oh,
we do.
it's funny, Joey, because there was a while there where you were kind of, you know, little sarcasm. I don't know about that.
Well,
People,
I still do. It
you
depends. I
know,
still
I,
monitor or
I have to
moderate
I have
yours.
to post the fine line with, because I'm like, okay, is this going to go over the edge, and is Joey going to boot this one? And like, what level of sarcasm am I going to share this evening?
Oh gosh, it's all good.
Before we do, I'm going to go back to that. You were talking about the chain of beliefs and how important that is. And when we understand truly where they're at, you were
Yeah,
talking about, the whole avatar thing and the dream client thing, and they've been brainwashed, they've been taught and trained, and it's with anything. And all of our people and everyone that we engage with, and all the people in the group and the family and the club and the universe, it's the same thing with you. The people that you're engaging with, you have to understand that they're at a place right now. You need to take them over to here. And the only way to get them from here to here is you. But you can't do that with schlotsky, hypey stuff. You
yeah.
got to say, look, let me find out what's going on with you, and here's how I know that I can help you, and this is how we do that. And then with the right languaging and the resonating, and it just goes deeper and deeper. Like we've talked in the last few weeks, where you're messaging, like when I saw you post in one of the groups, and it was just it was a flowing, easy message.
Thank you.
And that's what, when we get to that point, and yes, there are probably people that are watching saying, but my funnel's not working right now, and my cold traffic's not converting, and I'm not making any money. Yeah, I know. And sometimes you're going to struggle for a couple of months until you find out what it is, and you actually figure out that your beliefs are changing, and that you get it, like was said earlier by Kali. all of a sudden they get it. And when they get dream client, when they get chain of beliefs, and again, it's not like you got to get a lot of things. Like I told you, I created this 8 things I have to know. At
Hmm.
the top of it is who is your dream client. At the bottom of it, it's what's their chain of beliefs. And then in the middle, I got my other stuff that I play with, which is all part of this. And then once they get that, it's like a no-brainer to just help them get to where they want to go. But if at that stage they don't get it, well, it's like you don't get this, then there's something wrong here.
Well, do you remember in when you joined me and helped me host the first Dream Client Connection,
Yeah,
and then you saw that slide that said no sale is made until a new belief is installed,
yeah,
and you were like, "Holy crap!" Like a new paradigm, right?
yeah,
And that was, I think, maybe one of the first times that you were looking at the chain of beliefs in that context or
yeah,
whatever. And that's the truth. The truth is that everything that we do is based on a belief, and everything we don't do is based on a belief. And so once we understand that, now we're in this whole other. We're not even going to get into the topic I had on. We'll do that next week. But it's like if you understand that they have to change their own belief, and you have the patience to um, constantly talk about your belief, not slamming it down their throat. They either choose to believe you or not. And when they do choose to believe, they move along the path naturally or organically, which there's no sale. And this is the, I guess, quote unquote, the secret to it all, where it's about patience and understanding that when you come from, like I have a formula, if you want to call it that,
wait,
which,
Joey, you have a formula?
yeah, it's
No
called the
way. Come on, say it isn't so.
It's called the P5 formula, okay? And it's where like what's the secret to selling? And it's the P5. And so I'll share with you. And the first one, hang on a minute.
First one,
I'm
P.
just gonna bring it up because I want to make sure that I have so many frameworks and
People
everything else.
watching the replay are probably like, "Yeah, he makes it think like this was impromptu. He had the whole thing planned."
Yeah,
No,
no, I I have to go
Joey
look
had
for
nothing planned, but
I have to
Joey
go look for a
actually
slide that's
Joey
actually bringing
knows
this thing
where
up.
it's like when
Um,
you do the Joey trivia show, and it's like, "Who said this?"
okay. I think I have it here somewhere. Where did I put this? Now that I brought it up, my brain won't let this go until okay. Here we go.
Here we go.
The
5 Ps
P
by
the
Joey
P
Ragona.
the P5 formula is this. It's people, which are AKA your dream clients, plus passion to serve without expectation, which means that we've been talking about all this last half hour is like, oh my God, I get up and serve today. Okay, so you have to have that. If you don't have that, forget it. Okay, so people plus passion plus an urgent problem that they have, the dream clients we're talking about, plus the promise, which solves the emotional pain and problem. So the emotional pain of it that we even talked about, I think last week or the week before,
Last week.
plus patience for the dream client to reach out and connect with you or change their belief equals profit. So again, people plus passion plus problem, urgent problem, plus promise, the right promise, plus patience for the dream client to come to you equals profit. And that's it.
So, Joey, I'm just curious. You have people, passion, problem, promise, patience, and profit.
Profit is the end result.
Oh, so that's not the P5. That's the end result of P5.
Right.
So there are 6 Ps, just not really part of the five.
No, it's the P5 formula that gets you to profit.
Ah,
Actually,
okay.
yeah.
Thank you for the clarification. And just for those paying attention, counting, and playing the home game, I just want to make sure that they didn't get 6 Ps and wonder where the sixth one was hanging out.
But I mean, that's it. That's what I've figured out over my tenor in this world. And
You're leaving us again?
no, but
Oh,
what works for me and for every client that I'm dealing with. And it's that patience part that is very, very difficult. It's like nothing's happening, what's going on, and all this. And that is the secret to it is letting the client make the choice because it relates to their own belief system. because we can have all the marketing, uh, jingo and all that stuff that we have, and the language and this and that and everything else, but they still don't believe it. Their subconscious won't let them go, and that's the reason why any marketing thing that works, even though we love and adore it, won't change someone's mind. It may change them in the moment because they've been NLP'd or whatever you want to call it, and then they get buyer's remorse.
Mm.
And I don't see that happening a lot with any of the things that I'm doing today. Not that I'm any smarter than anybody else. It's just the fact that I follow this formula, that I serve the right people, people that I love passionately without expecting them to buy today because I've given them something. I'm hopefully solving an urgent problem, not just a problem that's like, oh, this kind of bugs you. You got a mosquito bite now. Want to fix that? Ah, no, I can scratch it. Don't worry about it. No, this is a shark bite. I need to get this fixed. And here's the promise of this. Like, is this promise worth you paying me, like we are just talking, the
Mhm.
money that I'm asking to fix that problem?
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Okay, then whenever you're ready for me to help you with that, let me know. That's kind of it. And I'm just waiting for that person to go through their own belief system, listening to us on Tuesdays, going in the group, or getting my emails, whatever that looks like, for them to finally say, you know what, I think I believe this dude, or I'm ready to step into this and see what is up.
Your
It's
your P5 reminds me of Bikram yoga.
cool.
There are thousands of hatha yoga poses. Bishnu Ghosh put together a sequence of postures and taught Bikram how to do these that healed people's bodies, healed their knees, healed their whole bodies, and made them younger and more supple and just healed ailments. And then that 26 postures became the standard in this particular yoga. There's nothing new about finding people,
No.
finding target. There's nothing new about having passion in serving. There's nothing new about finding an urgent problem or making the promise with an emotional outcome and being patient, making money. None of that's new. What is the way you put it together, the way you formulated it that makes it so easy for anybody that's a heart centered being to really serve and make money at the same time, because you have to make money in order to serve more people in a better way, in a higher way.
Yeah, thank you for that. And if I can, I'd like to unpack it just a little bit,
No, you
because
can't.
it's important. It's important in the way that it's structured.
Yes, please.
Um,
Please unpack it, Joey.
the the people is obvious, like we always talk about, right? You and I, like, it's always who first.
Right.
Let's get the who down.
Yeah.
And once you figure out, okay, these are the people I want to hang out with, and then if you jump um, to problem or promise or something like that, or you're jumping right to like, hey, I've given some stuff here and what's going on, and like I'm not getting a sale. If you don't have the passion, second, to get up and serve those people every day without expectation, the formula breaks. That's why it's second in the formula. It's like,
Mhm.
these are the people that I want to be with. And it's kind of like me helping you challenge yourself. It's kind of like when somebody says, I'm willing to do anything, and then the crap hits the fan, they're like, holy crap, I wasn't ready for this. I'm out. Like, it's just lip service. Like, because we can tell ourselves anything we want, anything. But as Bill Phillips says, your true character is tested when adversity hits. That's the test of true character, because we can say whatever we want. So that's why I figured out, because I love that quote, say it all the time. And I'm like, okay, what's this? What am I doing that's moving me forward? And that's it. It's like, okay, I'm saying these are the people I want to help, but if I don't show the passion, secondly, to figure out, third part, the problem, then I'm just lip service.
Mhm.
So it's okay, I'm going to get up, serve because I have a passion to help them. Oh, wait a second, that problem was wrong. My offer was wrong. My product was wrong, whatever. Okay, well, back to the drawing board, because what? I love the people, and I have a passion to serve. Correct? Follow so far?
So far, so good, Joey.
So now if you have this passion, then it's like, okay, wow, I figured out the problem. I've figured out these people need this thing. Now it's like, let me figure out how do I package this, or write this out into a promise that will bring people to my world so I can help them because of the passion. It all kind of relates back. And that's it. And that's why I wanted to unpack that second part, which is the passion and the patience. I think are the two most important things in that formula. Even though the dream client is like the ultimate foundational thing, if you ask me what are the two things what's the most important, it would be the passion and the patience. Any thoughts, comments, anything on that? And I want to just give thanks to this. I don't know who's saying this, but thank you very much. Wonderful about teaching when you see the light goes on. Couldn't agree more. What are your thoughts, Scott? Because I know you're thinking like something's percolating.
I think it's pretty difficult to determine which one's the most important piece. And when you say, I think patience to me is the biggest one, Joey, in this
Mhm.
whole game we're playing. And I like to call what we do playing because it's fun. It's not work. It's not a job. It's an adventure. It's excitement. It's risky. It's nerve-wracking. It's challenging. It's everything. Uh, it's patience, and part of patience is faith. It
Yeah.
really is. It's
Hmm.
a huge piece. And when you take that, and I believe that the problem is if you did nothing else but found out what somebody's problem was and patiently. So I'm going to go with, I'll go with problem and patience.
Um, okay, cool. That's another awesome insight. Netta, thank you for being so amazing in the group, by the way, and sharing all of your vulnerabilities and challenges and all that stuff. And thank you for that. And thank you for this. This is an amazing
Joey,
insight.
I got to be on a one-on-one call with an angel, and her name is Netta. It's just a joy. I got to spend 10 or 15 minutes with her the other day, just getting to know her and our journeys together in the no sugar world and how we came to it. And it's just, again, you have your peeps in our community that you get to like-minded. That I'd hang out with Ned and we'd talk about this and we'd make food and we'd be on a dream island because she's so cool. And your dream island with your dream people, even in your dream communities, that is not really your other one. It's all these concentric circles of overlapping things. And it was just a joy to be with one of our people and that we get to do that.
It's amazing, right?
It's just, God, this digital relationship, one day the book, the e-relationship, the digital relationship, it's just so unique in so many ways because you don't have to spend all that time meeting somebody over the course of a year 5 or 6 times. It's like boom, 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 boom.
Well, this is a powerful statement, Netta, and I'm sure that you're not the only one who feels this, but maybe they couldn't verbalize it. Maybe they could. I don't know. I don't want to put words in anybody's mouth, but this is very powerful. It's Yeah, it's just amazing. I don't know. I don't know any way to describe it. It's like thank you for this because it's truly a great insight in yourself, and this is as a coach, I would do the same thing and challenge that. Like that's why passion is in there. So if I was coaching you one on one, we had a whatever, and you were just continually going in a loop, then that's the reason why I have these formulas for my own sense to say, well, okay, where is it breaking down? And for me, it was always about belief. I just like the P5 formula because it's all P's, but it's still always about belief. And I've said that a billion times that everything I believe comes down to belief. Everything. And if you don't believe in you, then you're not going to get anywhere. And if you don't believe in in your clients or your product or whatever you're doing, you ain't going to get anywhere.
That is a wonderful statement, Joey.
Yeah, it's powerful. Um, we Wow, like we've from a short little conversation, a couple minutes earlier in the green room or the blue room before air turned into a whole episode so far. So that's amazing. And by the way, Scott, we haven't. We were supposed to talk about turning your biggest fears and failures into success. That's what the topic was for tonight. So maybe we'll do that next week.
We'll have to save that for another show, Joey. So, Joey,
I did
Van,
have an actual topic for tonight.
I know you do. You always do. Van Gogh.
Huh?
Van Gogh.
Van
Vincent
Gogh.
Van Gogh. He died penniless. A Van Gogh sells now for, whatever, a couple $100 million. We don't know what we're creating because we can't connect the dots forward. And that goes back to Netta's statement about passion. If you're truly doing what you're passionate about and you're putting energy out into the universe with your superpowers, it's like what you and I have done for 8, 9 weeks in a row. We can't look at what that. I'm not saying we're not penniless because I found 2 pennies today. But if I bent down to
You
pick
too?
them up, yeah, if I bent down to pick them up, it would have cost me more to pick them up than it did to keep going and get on to the next thing. I think there was somebody once said something that if Bill Gates bent down to pick up $100 bill, he'd lose money.
Yeah.
Whether you think you can or you can't, you're right. Who said that, Joey?
Walt Disney.
Henry Ford.
Oh, damn. Why am I thinking Walt Disney? There we go.
Okay. One reason I know that is I used to, at the end of my seminars, I would go through a whole bunch of amazing quotes. When it's darkest is when the stars come out. And just all these cool quotes to finish off. And it was just a fun way to.
Yeah. Just inspire people, right?
Yeah.
And it's true. Like, if you this is why this online business world is so funny to watch in a sarcastic way sometimes, because it's sold. Here's one of the things that I don't know who said this to me, but it stuck, and it was like the easiest. It's sad that the hardest thing to do is the easiest thing to sell.
Yeah. The hardest thing to do is the easiest thing to sell.
Right? In this online world is like, push this button and you'll sit on the beach and make money tomorrow.
Right.
But it's the hardest damn thing to do.
Oh,
but
it is.
The easiest to sell.
Yeah.
And so that stuck with me. I'm like, okay. And which is why, when I'm talking about Atlas or anything that you do with me, I never sell easy. I sell simple.
Yeah.
But I also say this is not going to be easy. And there's a lot of change that has to go on. And you're probably not going to, instead of, you're probably going to make $100,000 in 90 days if you did it right. It doesn't happen.
You're probably not going to.
It's like, this is what's going to happen. And are you ready for that journey? Because I know that they have to follow that formula I just gave you. They have to have that passion. And if they're all about the profit at the end, they're like, well, okay, sure, I'll do your little dream client people thingy. Just how's that going to make me $100,000? Dude, there's like 4 other P's that you're forgetting about.
Exactly.
Right? So it just doesn't work. Is that it? Are we done? No, we're not done yet.
No, we still got 10, 12 minutes left. Does anyone want to ask anything, share anything? I believe that we're broadcasting live on all the known social media platforms in the universe yet, Joey? Or
we are. We are on all the Facebooks and the LinkedIns, the YouTubes, and the Twitters.
We are.
So hello to everybody out there, and thank you for the love, thank you for the hearts, thank you for the cares and shares and all that stuff. And if you're with us live, hashtag live, that'll let me know. And also maybe on the replay, if you're watching the replay, hashtag replay, let me know that you're watching the replay, because I know that there are people who join us after, and that would be amazing. And I just want to put in the comments another time here. If you want to join our group, this is where you go, just to make it easier. I'm going to put it up on the screen so you don't have to type it in yourself.
I have a question for our listeners, and that question is, or viewers, depending on how you're doing this. What is your thoughts about dream client from where you started with the avatar and your belief of dream client to currently what that means to you, both from what we talk about it and with your clients? What does it mean to find a dream client in your world? How has that happened? Is it happening? Where are you at? As long as you chose the topic of dream clients and chain of belief this evening because of hanging out with it.
This is an easy question. Thank you, Netta, for this. The the anti-avatars came from the people that would turn my stomach. That's it. And not because they're bad people. It's because they would have characteristics or mindsets that my stomach literally would turn because I know it's um, nothing I can do at that point for them, and they are not in the belief system that I have, and it's just like I can't help these people. I would struggle every day if I'm already feeling this. I don't know the right word I'm looking for. This depolarization, whatever you want to call it, or this polarizing feeling of like this person is not going to get me, and I'm gonna have to drag them around and drag them into and try to make them think the way that I think. Not that everybody has to think exactly me; they don't have to be a clone, but it's like there's just too much pressure. There's too much. They drain my energy, and it was easy because I'm a very in tune with my body, my feelings, and it was just like holy crap! Like I'm just not feeling energized to speak to this person or to read that stuff that they're talking about. And it's like if that's what their mentality is right now, they're anti-avatars to me. And again, this is not a personal attack on them as a human being. It's just that they don't fit in my world where my superpowers shine. So that's how I started, just by having those direct feelings. What do you think, Scott?
To me, an anti-avatar, a terrorist is what I call them. You've heard me use that word. Is yeah, somebody that just wants to fight, wants to disagree in any way, shape, or form, and doesn't want to drink the Kool-Aid. And I don't mean that in a negative way. It's for me to do what I need to do. You need to, you don't need to, but you need to understand and believe. And if you don't, and if you think what I'm talking about is contrary to your beliefs, then you're my anti-avatar. You're not somebody I'm going to engage with, and I'm not going to waste any time. I'll give you an example right now with our affiliates. It's honest conversations. Is this something that you want to do that you're willing to do? And if not, then let's not waste any time. And I don't mean that in a bad way, but it's who can I help? You want me to help you make some money with a thing I built? I'll do that. But if you don't want to put in the time or the willingness, then who do you want to play with? And if they, to me, I get a sense of it's an intuition with people a lot of
That's what
times.
I'm saying, Scott.
Yeah.
It's that too. Like even to answer this on a I guess a more practical level, Netta is in. We're just starting the new atlas, right? And so we're doing this right now on the Dream Client thingy. And the first thing I asked them to do yesterday was go through and pick out your values. What do your values look like? And then what they do is so I give them a whole list of values, and then they go through and they pick out 10 of them, narrow them down, and then pick out the top three. And that is where the anti-avatar does not live. They don't have the same values as you do. And it's crazy in my mind to work with somebody who doesn't have the same values as you do. Like, because all you're doing is trying to convince somebody who it's like that it's that constant convincing. It's like, come on, you got it. Come on. Like, do you want to spend your life doing that every day? Or do you want to work with somebody who gets you, who would at least be open to your perspective and listening so they can make their own choice? And even if they don't agree with you or buy the thing, at least they share your values.
Mhm.
right? I mean, it does. That's the thing. But if somebody comes into my world, it's a perfect example we talk about all the time is money driven over mission driven. If you're totally money driven and you're a cool dude, that's totally cool. You do that, but you don't share my values.
Right.
And it's not that you're a bad person, but if you're not mission driven first, we ain't going to get along because I can't help you. And
Well,
it doesn't mean we can't hang out and go watch a movie together, but it's not going to be a lot.
right. You go out to dinner, you hang out, maybe you go to a movie, but that's it. It's not like, hey, come on back and let's go hang out for the weekend, or let's spend the week, or let's just live in the same community, because that's what we're looking for in all of this. And that's to put that down and say, here's your values. And then it's pretty simple. It's like, do you have the same values? And if they don't, then you know we're not going to change them. And yeah, they're cool people, they're great people, they're not bad people, they're just not my people.
Yeah, it's just different values, different ways of looking at the universe or looking at business in this context, and so those values are very important to me. Love and sharing and empathy and all these things are values to me. If someone comes into my world and go, "What are you doing? Like, what are you putting cat videos up for? Like, why are you sharing something where you're telling people that you cry or you have tears? Like, what kind of a person are you? Like that you don't share my values
Yeah, yeah.
of having just human compassion for something different, like other than your bank account. Like it doesn't make like you're just not going to get along with me, you know?
And by the way, Joey, that's okay for that person, that avatar who is money driven and just wants to make money. And that's their sole focus. And they believe that to make money, you have to run over people and you have to be, you know, this, and you have to be a jerk sometimes, and that. Well, good, you go do that, and I'm that's fine. I'm just not going to play with you because that's not how I live life and treat people. That's just not my sandbox. Everyone can have their own sandbox. We talk about, there are people out there that are have drunk the avatar Kool-Aid, and maybe they're using it. Maybe they're going after their demographic, psychographic avatar and running Facebook AdWords, Google AdWords, and this, and uh, advertising on LinkedIn and here and Pinterest, and target marketing the demographic, and they're getting traffic, and they're getting this, and this percent converts, and that, and they're good with that, and they can ramp that up and they can scale that. That's okay too. This just happens to be the heart-centered world that we choose to live in. And it's not just, we don't live in it just Tuesday nights or Thursdays or that. That's how we live.
Yeah. And to your question, Netta, is that's what you start with. That's why we always talk about who are the people that you want to hang out with, because I'm gonna bet that they are people who share your values. Your best friends share your values. The people that you love and hang out with and you can finish each other's sentences, they share your values. And
Mhm.
and it doesn't make any sense to me not to have those people as clients. There was people who will disagree with me and I'm totally cool with that because I'm used to it. But that's how my dad built his business and I'm building mine the exact same way and I would never do it any way different ever again.
The
So
first time you have the thought of, I don't want to meet with this client, I don't want to talk to them, I don't want to help them, this isn't fun,
yeah.
that's when you have to fire the client. We haven't talked about that one in a long time, because you can't, that energy is so toxic when you take the money when you shouldn't have. And again, it's difficult.
And that you just brought up another huge realization, or maybe I'm just being more tuned to it now, but that's coming up a lot in the Atlas conversations as well,
Yeah.
where my students are saying, I think that I've got to unpack and reorganize and fire the people that I have in my world because they're realizing the difference between the dream client and the avatar and all the other stuff. And that's what I mean by holy crap, like this is actually getting through. Because
That
when they're willing to break their whole, whatever, their whole customer base to change things, that's a huge thing.
their whole belief system.
Yeah.
Kind of sounds like nothing happens until a new belief is installed.
That's right. Huh. Where did I hear that one before?
Uh,
Um,
that's where I walked away to. It's on the whiteboard.
yeah, I figured. Um, we're gonna have to get to this one next week. Biggest fear that you've gone through that turned into success, because this is what I want to unpack this today. We'll do that next week. Sorry if you tuned in just for this
Well,
one.
for those of you that tuned in for the topic, we have finally gotten to the topic after 60 minutes.
There's so many so many failures, biggest failure and everything else.
Gee,
Yeah,
only one episode.
yeah, that'll be like a 4-part series. Uh, and Collie, you're absolutely right. Values are deal breakers in relationships, all sorts of it, including intimate love, soul, and hugs. Back at you.
Especially intimacy, love, and soul hugs.
Yeah,
What
yeah,
better gift can you give than love and soul hugs that just travel around the multiverse? That's powerful stuff.
it's so cool. Wow, what a and another amazing Tuesday night conversation. That was truly one of these. We don't know where this one's going to go tonight, and here we are. Didn't even.
Well, Billy, we didn't even not know where it was going to go tonight because we didn't even start to go anywhere tonight. We started with opening the show and talking about something that had nothing to do with anything that has everything to do with everything.
Uh, whoa, here's a good comment. Let me see. They're all been good comments. Let's unpack this one. I'll let you read this one, Scott.
I've never had an avatar, never got that concept, only heard about Avatar 1.5 years ago, but have been working with women for over 30 years, always intuitively and with the only intention to provide clothing that makes them feel happy the way they are. It was always about transformation first. Switching to online teaching now, I have been learning about Dream Client from Joey, especially that I do not have to take anyone on who is not aligned with who I want to teach. And I presume this is Monica.
Yeah, now we know who this one is. Thank you,
Now
Monica.
we know who it is. And that is brilliantly put that there's her realization, Joey, so pinpointed and focused in her passion and her intention and her service and transformation. And she had posted, I think, an image or a video the other day of somebody celebrating in one of the out.
That was so amazing.
That was, I don't think, I think I liked it, loved it, cared about it. Who knows if I commented? I've been in just an incredibly stratosphere of stuff going on, and my bandwidth is like less than it's ever been. But I just wanted to recognize that because it was magical to see that and to see when you've transformed someone and then you provided them with something that brings them this joy and happiness. Seriously, makes them feel happy the way they are. Wow.
Yeah, and like I'd love. I mean, I know what the answer is already, Monica, but how did that make you feel? And imagine when you do multiply that. Not that when you can, it's when you do multiply it. And that's where this all starts. It's like, when people ask me about how does the dream client work, or when do I scale this thing, or anything like that, it's like, you start with one person and you transform that one person, and they tell others, and everybody everybody experiences that joy and that bliss. So they do, you do, and they just love to tell other people because of that amazing transformation that wasn't based on, well, Monica got money out of me and that's why she's happy for me and all this other kind of stuff. No, they can truly feel um, that you care about them. Like dream clients, no. And so that's another experience that I never knew before either until I started doing this work, and feel that every single week, every single time somebody's on a call and they share their experiences or their vulnerability, or they, and here's the other thing that even comes to this. If you want to look at this from a tactical or I guess a tactical marketing thing, there's testimonials, Scott, that happen every single day
Mhm.
on a call that were never prompted or anything. It was just like, Joey, I just wanted to tell you this thing. Okay. and then they tell you a thing, and you're like, holy crap, that was like an amazing, right? And so anybody out there listening, like, how do I get how do I make people know the work I do, and how do I get a testimony and all these things? Well, when you serve from what I'm saying, when you serve people from a passion and get the dream customers, and eventually one or two or three of them gather together, you will begin to get testimonials and all kinds of things that just happen organically through a conversation, rather than you saying, Scott, can I get you on a call to get a case study? Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with it. But I'm telling you that every single day, there's some little clip of 10 or 15, 30 seconds that is like, holy crap. And I've got a drive full of them. And I'm saying this for a couple of different reasons, but now I think that I just wanted to say that I'm very grateful for that. And it's something that I never take for granted, and that I don't miss it, in terms of like, I don't just skip over and go, ah, that was great. Thanks very much. Get on to the next thing. But I'm very grateful for that. And I wanted to just put that out into the public.
Joey, when you facilitate an environment that allows people to share their raw, vulnerable emotions in a group setting, because it's safe and comfortable to do that. I had someone not as deep as this, one of the alphas and users of the software. Well, I had come up with a lot of different copy in this, and she said, this is the best way to capture lost memories. And
Wow, that's cool.
they were like black and white photos, probably from, who knows, 50 years ago. Like, somebody, and she's captured them into a video. They're now going to live on forever. And that was, lost memories was not, I was playing with the emotional thing, emotional, heartfelt, lasting. And all of a sudden, it's for a certain set. These are lost memories, because what are you going to do with all these black and white photos that you've got? And then all of a sudden, you put a a little motion to them, and you put them together, and you've ordered them, and you've told a story of who you are in your life. It's like, I couldn't have said, well, let me get on a call with you. And it didn't require any
Love it.
forward energy. It just required what we do, just being there. And even though I am selling a product and a software and a funnel, it's still with the same energy and emotion, and in a loving way, and being real careful not to be salesy. And none of this, no thanks. I don't want to, I don't care about my family. No thanks. I just want to throw my pictures away. It's like, I'm playing with that on the upsells now. And I'm like, really?
No, thanks. I don't care about my family at all.
Yeah,
I don't need this click. No, thank. The language, it just kills me.
it's
Uh,
great. It's great.
we should have a show based. We should have a sarcastic show. Like, honestly,
No.
we should go through like all of the cliche of
Oh,
online marketing and just have a blast.
okay. We'll put that
with
in there. With the Joey
you
Ragona
know
game show. Who said?
um yeah. So anyway, thank you for this amazing conversation again every Tuesday night, Scott, with you and our amazing tribe who show up here live and on the replay. I do not take you for granted. Thank you for being here and supporting us, and so we can support you. And by the way, if you are just tuning in and you
Well, they're
want to,
supporting us. How much money have we raised this evening, Joey?
I got to look at the tally board. Like, just wait for it. Oh, damn, we forgot a call to action. I'm just kidding.
Got the call to action button. Sign
There's
up
the
now for the next.
there's the
oh my God,
preface,
the
or
next.
the preface for the sarcastic show.
We'll put the link in the chat below, and the cart's closing Sunday night, midnight.
Oh my gosh.
Oh God.
uh
Oh jeez.
Dang it, guy. Oh man, like, oh, you missed a great show today, Lorna.
Wow, Lorna. We even talked about you at least once.
I'm gonna go and edit that part out now.
Yeah, get rid of that part. Get it to show up.
Oh gosh, thank you so much. We will see you next Tuesday night for another broadcast. Maybe we'll stay on topic, or actually get to the topic next Tuesday.